Hello, and welcome to Cutlery Cavern. The knife you see before you is the U.S. military's demo knife or the utility knife. It's also just called a milk knife or a military knife. This particular one is made by Camillus, and this is a knife I carried back in the early 1980s when I was in the U.S. infantry stationed in Bamberg, Germany. And while I was there, I was approached by a German soldier who saw the knife and offered to trade with me. Knowing that I could easily pick up this knife at the post exchange again, I jumped at the chance to trade with the German soldier. And I think I got the better end of the deal. The knife he had was the German Army knife, and this is 108 millimeters long, and it came with what I really liked about it was this wonderful saw blade, nice wood saw. And at the end here you have a little screwdriver tip and a cap lifter. So I thought this is great. I didn't lose my screwdriver and cap lifter that I had on the milk knife. I still had one. And later I found out that this was actually also a can opener, but anyone who was in the U.S. Army at the time knew that the best can opener in the world was a P38. So we never even used the one on the knives. I mean, why bother when you've got a P38? So, but the cool thing was it had a saw blade, and that's what I really enjoyed about it. And also, the Spearmaster blade was a good half-inch longer than the one that was on the milk knife. So, much longer blade, a saw blade. It was a no-brainer for me on the trade. I think I got the better end of the deal. Strangely, it came with a corkscrew. So I guess the German army had no problem with their soldiers and wine, but that was okay too. And the last blade you had on it was the reamer or the awl. It was about the same length as the punch blade on the milk knife, and actually I preferred the one on the milk knife because it was mounted at the end instead of in the middle. I don't like doing this. I much prefer it on the end and using it like a screwdriver. But still, all in all, a really cool knife, and it was different than the knife that I could easily rebuy. Unbeknownst to me at the time, this knife was actually designed by Victorinox, and later on I picked up a newer version of the same knife made by Victorinox. Everything is the same with it. The only difference was that they added this little file area here so you could actually file your nails or strike a match against it. So they added one more function to this blade in that you could, you got a match striker. Still had a corkscrew, and it just has a lanyard hold. There was no loop, so you had to do whatever you needed to do to function with it. But 108 millimeters long, bigger than the milk knife was, and a little bit more functional because of that wonderful saw blade. Later, Swiss Army or Victorinox designed a new knife for the German Army, and that's the Trecker, also known as the German Army knife still. And they added a one-hand opening blade. You can rock it all the way around. It's easier when you're not filming. And if you notice, the blade is slightly serrated up front, but still easy enough to sharpen. And it's a liner lock, so the blade isn't going to close on you. It's left-handed, so the left-handed liner lock, you push there and you can close it. You do need two hands to close. And they still have the saw blade in the middle. Now it's a little longer, but it's still an excellent wood saw that they give you with it. It does not lock. And then they gave you a fully functional can opener now, and the small screwdriver tip, which is common on almost all Swiss Army knives. And then they give you a larger flat tip screwdriver and your bottle opener and wire stripper there. And the cool thing here is this screwdriver actually locks with a liner, so you can close it, again with the left-handed liner. You got a keychain in the back. There's no toothpick or tweezers with it, and I guess they got tired of the German soldiers drinking wine because they got rid of that corkscrew and replaced it with a tool that's probably more important for the German soldier, which is a Phillips head screwdriver. And you still have the punch or reamer at the back. So it became a, everyone loves this knife, and it's pretty popular. And when you get right down to it, once again, the German Army has a much better pocket knife than the American Army. We should consider looking at something like this. Or maybe it's just the grass is always greener on the other side. I don't know, but Victorinox developed a wonderful knife, and I really enjoy this one. I think it's really great, especially the fact that you got that opening blade that you can do with one hand, and it locks, and it just, nice big knife. 4 3/8 inches, definite pocket full. There's 3 layers, but, wood saw and a locking main blade, much more useful than what you see on a lot of other pocket knives issued to soldiers. Great knife, highly recommend it. Not too bad on the price. It's probably around $45 or so. Great knife for the person who just wants a good Swiss Army knife, or someone who likes to collect military knives. Thank you, and I'll talk to you again soon.